What is matter? Matter is anything that has mass and occupies space, or matter is anything that has mass and occupies volume. There are three states of matter: solids, liquids, and gases. It is important for us to consider the differences between the three states of matter. The particles in a solid exhibit low energy. In a liquid, medium, and in a gas, the particles are energetic, highly energetic. The distance between the particles in a solid, very small. In a liquid, medium, and in a gas, the distance is quite high. It means, therefore, that solids will have a fixed shape, that liquids will take the shape of a container in which they're placed, and that gases have no shape at all. It would also mean that solids will not be easily compressed, that liquids can be compressed, and that gases can be compressed easily. We need to consider that the various states of matter can be interchanged. That is, solids can become liquids, liquids can become solids, solids can become gases, and gases and liquids are interchangeable. For instance, a solid can be melted to form a liquid can freeze to form a solid, a liquid on boiling or evaporation will form a gas, and a gas by condensation will form the liquid. Solids can be converted directly into gases, and gases converted directly into the solids by the process of sublimation. It is also important for us to consider that in matter, that particles are constantly moving. It is what is referred to as the particle theory of matter. Now, it is important for us to cite the evidence of this theory, namely diffusion, osmosis, and Brownian motion. In diffusion, what we have is the movement of particles from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration. For example, when one is cooking, it is easy to pick up the scent of the food. A leaking gas line, it is easy to pick up the smell of the gas. Diffusion, that is, the particles move from a high concentration to an area of low concentration. But then there is osmosis, the movement of water particles from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration through a semi-permeable membrane. A semi-permeable membrane is one which allows certain things to pass through and will prevent others from passing. For example, if we put cubes of fruit in a bowl with water, and we observe over time, what we'll notice is that the water particles would move from the bowl into the fruit pieces or cubes. Those pieces will eventually swell. If we place another bowl with, let's say, water and sugar or water and salt, and place another set of cubes or pieces of fruit, we notice over time what happens is that the water that is present in the fruit cubes will now come out into the sugar or salt mixture. What has happened is that the water particles have moved from a highly concentrated area to an area of low concentration through the semi-permeable membrane of the fruit. That's osmosis. The benefit of osmosis is in fruit or food preservation. And then there is Brownian motion. Brownian motion is the movement of particles in a gas or in a liquid. For instance, we can readily observe dust particles in the air. as sunlight will come beaming through a window. We can observe bits and pieces of leaves, plant material, floating on the top of water, let's say at a river. Solid or gas or solid particles suspended in a gas or in a liquid. Brownian motion. Now it is important for us to consider that the states of matter are interchangeable. And those examples are well cited. Ice will melt to form water. Water will freeze to form ice. Water on boiling will form steam, and steam on condensation will form water again. Iodine is a good example of a solid that sublimes. That is, iodine will change the gas phase directly. We also have dry ice, solid carbon dioxide, which can sublime. Then there is naphthalene, mothballs, your camphor balls, that will change directly from the solid to the gas phase without going through the liquid state. And so in review, matter, anything that has a mass and occupies space. 2, 3 states of matter: solids, liquids, and gases. Solids, liquids, and gases are interchangeable by melting, freezing, boiling, evaporation, condensation. And our interchange of solid to gas and gas to solid by sublimation. Then we have the differences between the states of matter in terms of compressibility, in terms of shape, in terms of distance between particles, and in terms of energy content of the particles. And then we have the particle theory of matter, which is supported by the processes of diffusion, osmosis, and Brownian motion. It is also important, as I said, to consider the application of these 3 principles. This, I believe, it's a review of the topic, the states of matter and the particle theory of matter. I trust that this has been helpful. Stay tuned for another unit being explained with brevity. Thank you so much for viewing. Trust that it has been helpful and that you will master the art for your upcoming exams.